Hello my fellow crafters and welcome to Inspiration for Cards. My name is David and today we're going to be making a card. A Christmas card, that is. This is part 2 of my Christmas series this year, the holiday series, and I'm going to be making this beautiful Christmas card using the Elizabeth Craft Design Classic Christmas set. Now I've got my hands on this set the minute it came out and I love it. I really love it. You will be seeing more variations of this card in the next weeks, but this is the first one I'm going to make, and yeah, it's not the classic Christmas colors, but I really like it. So I hope you like it too. If you do, give this video a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to my channel so you will not miss any of my future videos. So, without any further ado, let's dive in and make this fun Christmas card. Have fun! As I mentioned in the introduction, these are the products that I'm going to be using, and the star of this show is this collection. It's the Elizabeth Craft Special Christmas Kit. You will see more of this on my channel, but it's a lovely set, and I'm going to be using elements of that for the card today. This whole set is all I'm going to use today, except for one little border die. So let's get on. All the products that I'm using, I will link them down below in the description bar and in full detail on my blog. What I'll be doing first is preparing the paper that I'm going to die cut, and I'm going to put some adhesive backing on it from Elizabeth Craft Design. So how I do that is I'm just going to peel a bit off. I'm going to put this silver paper on it. There we go. It's sticky. And I'm going to cut that off. Simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. There we go. And I will do the same with this silver sparkly paper. It's very thin and flimsy. So this paper will do two things. It will give it a bit more sturdiness, and it makes it easy to stick it onto the base later on. So I'll be putting a backing on this as well. So I've got adhesive backing on the pieces of paper that I needed to have, and I will put these to the side because I'm going to die cut it out later. However, I'm going to be starting off with some paint layering on my base card, and I'm doing that for this card. I'm doing that directly on the base card because, well, why not? Let's say if we can save some time, let's do it. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take some Post-it tape, and I'm going to make sure, this is just the normal Post-it tape, and I'm going to make sure that this is going to stay closed. So I'm folding that over, putting that in on the inside and closing it now. Now this is a card base made from quite heavy cardstock. It's a watercolor based card stock, so it can handle the water that I'm going to throw at it quite easily. I'm going to use these 3 mica stains. I want the background to be really bright and cheerful, and I really like the mica stains from Tim Holtz, the distress ones. They really shine a lot. So let me prepare myself, let me get my splatter box, and we will have some fun with mica stains. For you it was just a fraction of a second. For me it was a couple of minutes, because what I did, these mica stains, you have to shake them up really well, and you can still see a bit of goo here underneath. So I'm going to continue shaking this pink one. The blue one is okay because the mica will sink to the bottom, and if you don't shake them well enough, then it'll be a problem. Okay, let's start. Let's have some fun with paint splatter. Let me think what I want. Yep. And there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just spraying as I like it. Okay, now I'm going to take my Ranger heated tool and I'm going to dry this off. Let's see, now it wants to run a bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. I like this splattered background. Just gonna take the bits that I don't like, I'm gonna take that off a bit. So while this is drying, I can see, oh, I want a bit more there, I want a bit more there. And I want some splatters. Now how do you get splatters? Wait, how do you get splatters? If you have this in your hand and you spray it completely, you get a mist. If you hold this a bit, and yeah, your hands will get dirty, but that's what happens when you use sprays, right? Hold it a bit and do it like this and just lightly spritz it. You will get some splatters. And I like splatters. I can't help it. I like big splatters and I cannot lie. Now we're gonna dry that again. I want a bit more intensity of the color up here. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take the blue. Dry that off again. And again some pink at the bottom. Okay, here we go. It's nice and dry. I will take it out of the splatter box. And I will try to capture that shine for you. Look at that. Now that looks yummy. I'm going to be die cutting out some pieces of this gorgeous set. So I'm going to start with the big one. I'm just going to take everything out that I'm going to use. I'm going to use these, and I'm going to use these, and I'm going to use this one. I might as well use this one, and I'm going to use some of the smaller, do you still see them? Yeah, smaller snowflakes. And I'm going to use a sentiment strip from this set as well later on. Now I want to make sure that I have everything ready to die cut from. So I am going to get my base plate out from my Sizzix. I'm going to put the thin die adapter on, and I'm going to put my, as I call it, cut plate on. I always try to use the same one as a cut plate, and the same one to put on top. And yeah, I call that the do not cut plate. Now eventually this will change because this one will be worn out. Then the do not cut plate will become the cut plate, and I will have a new do not cut plate. But for now, this is the sandwich that I'm going to use. I'm going to take my piece of Elizabeth Craft white cardstock. I'm going to put this beautiful die on it, stick it down with some post-it tape. So keep it in place, and I will be die cutting all these pieces out, and I'll be right back because I'm not going to bore you to death with die cutting all these out. So I'll be back in a flash. My craft desk has exploded, but everything is now die cut and ready to go. Here are the baubles, etc., etc. So I'm gonna prepare the final things. How do you call these? The things on top of the Christmas baubles. Does anyone know? I always call them thingamabobblies, but yeah, they are really tiny and I tend to lose them. So I'm gonna pop that out. These are the last ones. I've also cut out the sentiment strip ready to be stamped on. And now I'm gonna take out the final bits. Okay, I gotta be a bit more careful. Why didn't this cut out? Okay, gonna put that through again. I'll be right back. There we go. Right, let me take these out. Now we're gonna take this out of the die. So I will do that, and again I will be right back because this is so boring to watch. It will be like watching paint dry. Well, here we have all the elements die cut and ready to go to assemble the cards. Now this is now beautiful dry. Look at that shine. So here's the idea. I'm going to put this in front of the card base. I have to figure out where exactly, and then I'm going to build up from there. But before we can actually assembly, I need to stamp the sentiment. So I'm gonna take out my Misti and I'm gonna take out the stamps and decide which stamp I'm going to use. I really love this one. I don't know if you can see it. Might help if I put it the right way around. It says, wishing you a Merry Christmas. But hey, may your holidays be filled with joy, season's greetings. May your new year shine. Sending a little holiday sparkle, but I think that one is a bit too small. No. Shall we do that? Sending you a flurry of love. This one is pretty as well. Just not sure it'll fit on this sentiment. Let me see. Yeah, let's do that one. Now I'm going to stamp this using the Versafine Black Onyx. I really like how bright and black that stamps. I'm not going to heat emboss this one because it's so fine and it doesn't really need it. There's enough sparkle on the card anyway, so I like to balance that off a bit by don't sparkle this one. So here we go. Wow, that's stamped perfectly. Let this dry so I don't smudge it. Trust me, done that before. I will clean this up when we're done. Now here I have a sheet of sticky dots, and that's perfect for these small intricate cuts to adhere them to. That it's still new. And it's very sticky, as you can see. This really works well. So what I'll do, I'll put this on the paper, and I'm not too worried that this bit isn't on the sticky dots because that's going to be cut off anyway. So I'm going to use my hand to press the sticky dots on there. Open it up. And actually I like that I didn't put that bit on because that allows me to pull it off. Now there is a pattern on there, and that pattern is symmetrical, so that helps me. It's just figuring it out sideways, whether it's straight. And then I'm gonna press this on. Now, next thing I'm gonna do, because you see the mica stains stain a bit, I'm gonna use my fingers and run that over, and that way I will give a soft coloring to my white cardstock. Next I will take a paper towel, a piece of dry paper towel, and I will just rub over that again. Why I'm doing this is to make sure that everything is off, nothing sticks to that anymore. There we go. Let's assemble the baubles. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to peel off the backing of this thingamabobbly. I'm going to put that on there. There's the first one. Right, next I'm going to see what I'm going to do with this beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to offset them, I think. Because I don't want to be struggling. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, let me take the adhesive backing off. Make sure that all the bits and bobs are out of there. There's another piece. There we go. And I'm going to position that on there. There. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my scissors and cut around. Yes, I have smaller scissors. I could have gotten those, but these are at hand. There we go. And then I will take the other part stick that on here. Just as if it's popping. Oh, let me get my small scissors. It's coming from the other side. You see? And we have a beautiful bauble. And I will do the same to the others. Put it on there. And that's absolutely fine there. Take my scissors again. There we go. It's just a little piece. This put some of it, not all, on the other side. Now you could even hang these in a Christmas tree if you make them double-sided. First, I'm going to put down the sentiment. I'm going to put that right here at the bottom. So I'm going to take my glue and put a generous amount of glue on there, And what I like to do is take my tweezers, because that helps me to really position it where I want it and make sure that it's centered and in the middle. There we go. Smack there in the middle. And it's sort of straight, right? Now, I think 3 baubles might be a bit too much. So I'm going to save this one for later. And I'm going to use these 2. I have got this silver wire that I'm going to be using. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my piece of thread. I'm going to put it through the hole. Let it hang from my thread. Tie a knot and make a bow. And let me cut off these long ends. There we go. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off the adhesive backing of this. On the card. And it's on there. Simple and quick. And the second one, I'm going to overlay that bit with the stencil, the sentiment, and it can go outside of the border a bit. There we go. And here it is. The finished result of this beautiful Christmas card. It's different. It's definitely not a standard Christmas card, but this set of Elizabeth Craft Design, it's so versatile. You will see more standard Christmas cards as well. But yeah, I love it. More coming up. This was the second video in my Christmas series, in my holiday series. If you haven't seen the first one, I will link it up here, somewhere there, I think, for you. And then you can watch that one. And I will be back 2 videos a week about Christmas. So have fun with that. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I would love to see you for the next video. Thank you very much for watching. See you. Bye.